Has there been a lens or a camera in the past you regret selling that kind of bugs you when you think about it and you're like, oh, I wish I hadn't have sold that bit of equipment?
I feel like you're more you've always been more pragmatic than me. You're like, this is the good lens, I'm using it. I don't look back kind of thing.
I got into using Micro Four Thirds Panasonic for video, GH3, and I also had a little Olympus EPL5, which is a Micro Four Thirds, really small camera. But what I did do was I sold all the lenses, all my Micro Four Thirds lenses, and I sort of regret that, because one of my favourite ever photos years ago, we were in Corsica, and it's a photo of this girl standing in a shop doorway, and I love that photo, and that was with my little EPL 5, but that 21.7 little pancake lens, it's not, I probably got less than 100 quid for it, and I just wish I'd kept that, because I could then still every now and then use my Olympus.
But would you use it though? That's the thing.
I might. I just would for fun.
Yeah.
I'll ask you the same question though. What do you, because you've gone through so many bits of gear buying.
Me?
Yeah, you're chopping them in, you're buying them. It's the best thing since sliced bread for 3 months. Oh, no, I don't know. Well, oh, look, the value's gone down. Well, I'm still going to get rid of it because I've got the next best thing since sliced bread is on my screen. So.
As our viewers know, I really don't buy and sell very often. No, I am. I'm an absolute addict for. It's a hobby, collector's hobby. I enjoy buying and selling lenses, trying them for a bit, then getting rid of them. And if I lose a bit of money, well, I can just flipping heck, nearly got killed.
So, what do you regret?
Well, it's this whole video idea came about because something you said to me a few minutes ago stuck with me and haunted me a bit. Actually,
Oh dear.
This is your fault.
I didn't even know you listened to me, but obviously.
Well, I occasionally
Yeah.
Because we were going through my large selection of wedding photos because we were just about depth of field and look and things. And we're just scanning through them, and then you kind of stopped it and went, "Oh, they're different. They have a different look. What did you do differently there?" And it was the 58 1.4. Yeah, because I only had that lens for about 4 or 5 months before selling it.
Yeah.
Because the initial video was like, oh, there wasn't that much difference, and focal length was a bit awkward. The focusing was a bit slower, so I just ended up selling it because it wasn't robust enough for my event photography. I just wanted something with character, and at the time I thought it didn't have enough character, and I just sold it because it was £600, and I sold it for exactly the same price I bought it for, which is great. But yeah, I look back and I was like, it did have a different look, and I can't recreate that look with editing. Because I would say now, with mirrorless, the look you create is with editing a lot with my wedding photography.
Yeah.
You know, you put the look onto it afterwards. It's not like because they kind of come in cool, clinical, quite sharp.
Yeah.
And you play around with it to create look. That's what I do at least.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it on the FTZs because you have that like inch gap between the camera and the body, and it's like a bulky little lens with a FTZ. It just was difficult to handle. It wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
But do you have stuff that lenses and cameras sitting on your shelf that you never use?
That's the other side of the coin, isn't it? So I've got the Z50 with the 2 kit lenses, and I haven't used them in, I remember when. We did mess, because you had the ZFC, didn't you? But you also had the 50 to 250 kit zoom, which is
still got that.
Small. You've still got it. I've still got it. And we have messed around with using that on the full frame cameras. But I haven't used it for ages, and I keep thinking, should I sell the Z50 and the 2 kit lenses, because I've just never used them. But then I think, well, I'm not going to get a fortune for them at all. And I keep remembering what I went on holiday at the beginning of 2020, just before COVID happened, and I went to Sri Lanka, and on that holiday we went off and did a safari for a day, just a sort of a short one. And I bought the Z50 before I went on holiday because I wanted a good light travel camera.
Yeah.
And on that safari I basically just used the Z50 with the 50 to 250 zoom lens, and I got great results, and it was great. But the thing is now, if I went on a similar sort of holiday and did a similar sort of thing,
Yeah.
now I've got a Z8,
100 to 400.
I've got a 100 to 400. Am I ever going to take the Z50 in preference to the Z8? I'm not, am I?
But is it like stamp collecting? It's like we would like to see.
No.
Because I have a special cabinet with lights and stuff, and I can look at them every day.
Yes, you have.
Because
Yeah.
I've got quite a lot of lenses now I've accumulated,
Oh, I know.
and I haven't used that for a while, but I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sell it. It's not really worth selling.
No, cameras. When I was young and I first started doing some film photography, I had a Canon A1. I had a Canon AE1, and then I moved to Canon A1, and I've got that still and a couple of lenses. I've never used them in a million years, so I don't even know. Probably doesn't work, you know. So, but I'm never going to get much for those, and they're sitting on the shelf, and that's my nearest I'm going to get to stamp collecting in terms of cameras.
Yeah.
But the more modern stuff, no, I think if I'm not using it, why am I bothering to
Yeah, it's true.
keep it?
With the Z series stuff, I'm not nostalgic about that. Like I've bought and sold quite a few Z lenses. I had the 85 1.8.
Yeah.
I let that go, and I didn't regret it.
No.
But it's DSLR stuff. I think because my D850, I remember packing that away because you convinced me and persuaded me and coerced me to get mirrorless.
Well, it was a little bit strong there, but
Well, it was so alluring. The technology, the live view was amazing. Smaller, lighter bodies, sharper lenses, great. But I remember putting away my D850, and I was like, I've only had this like a year or two. I'm like, this is an amazing camera. But at the time, I got a trading bonus, and it was worth quite a bit then. So it went a long way to get my Z7 II. But in hindsight, maybe I should have kept it for a bit longer.
I was talking to a portrait photographer the other week who was using a D850,
Yeah.
and like many professional photographers, they only think about changing the gear when it falls apart, breaks,
Yeah.
stops working.
Yeah.
And I said, have you ever thought about going mirrorless? And no, he said, I've got a Z6 one, I think it was, just for video, he said, but no. So the D850 is the best camera in the world.
Yeah.
So I couldn't
Can't
argue with it.
Because the image quality is the same as the Z8, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, the problem with the D850 was the video. DSLRs were rubbish on video with Nikon, and that was another alluring factor, and that's why mirrorless is so good. But I've been even looking at the prices of like D750 or the D780, which was the hybrid,
Yeah.
and you can get them for really good prices.
Yeah.
Because I've got a collection of f-mount lenses that are amazing. 28, the 105. The 400 2.8.
Because he went all mirrorless and then he went back with some of his lenses back to the old f-mount. Oh, they look.
Yeah. Well, the premium lenses are so cheap now. They still have a bit of a look and a character. But the FTZ is annoying with them because it just tips them all forward. They're more comfortable to hold.
Yeah.
And I was thinking if I got a D850 again, for some things like street photography.
How much would you get a D850 for now?
I think they're about 1,000.
Right.
If you're on the used market.
Yeah.
A D750 is like £500.
That's like a 24 meg sensor, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's like for street photography or some things, it might be nice to just have a DSLR.
You've got this itch where you have to keep buying and selling.
Yeah. No, I admit it. Yeah, it's a hobby. It's a hobby separate from photography.
I was like that for quite a while.
Yeah.
But now I think, well, no, I'll say that. It'll be famous last words, won't it?
Yeah.
There is nothing.
Well, you bought the 40F too.
Yeah, but that's 200 quid, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I really wanted the 104, just waited for that.
Yeah, you did.
Got that. I've had to update my laptop recently, which I was asking questions on the Russell Oz Flickr group about what people recommend on that. So I've replaced my laptop, and now and those are two things I knew I wanted to get this year.
Yeah.
Now I've got more lenses than I need. I mean, everybody has, haven't they, really? So I just need to get out and use them.
This is what I was saying to myself. I look at gear maybe instead for inspiration rather than actually thinking, am I lacking inspiration and looking to gear to give me that inspiration? Whereas really I should just go out there and find inspiration of shooting stuff with the gear I've got. Yeah. Rather than thinking, if I got this lens, if I got this DSLR, I might be able to do this. It might be more fun. Yeah, tell us what you think. It'd be interesting to hear all the stories about people buying and selling like I do. See you next time.